Hi, I'm Sarah from Jimmy Bean's Wool, and today we're going to go over everything you need to know to do block 25 of the Cascade Yarns Knitterati Diagonal Afghan. Alright, so this is block 25 of the Cascade Yarns Knitterati Diagonal Afghan, our very last block, and boy oh boy am I in love with it. It is a center start block, so you'll work from the center outwards, and each of these four quadrants of the block is exactly the same, so this block is a mirror image of itself both ways, and very, very fun to knit. I gotta say, I did have a ton of fun reading the chart, which was a new construction for me. So the chart follows just one of these quadrants, and you repeat it 4 times around, but the charted instructions themselves only show just this like one section, and you just follow that around and around. There are, of course, written instructions as well in case charts are not your favorite, but it was pretty straightforward to me, and I did have a lot of fun with this one. Especially watching this flower motif develop was quite fun, and then this border is made up of seed stitch, and then we've got an eyelet pattern, and then another seed stitch panel as well before you bind off along the outside edge. Don't be too intimidated by this center start. It is not a magic ring as called for in other patterns. However, you can feel free to do a magic ring if you want to. For this one, you just cast on 8 stitches as normally and divide them among your DPNs to knit and join them to knit in the round. And doing that will create this kind of a bigger hole in the center here. And if you don't want that, then I would suggest doing the magic ring, but otherwise you can do this exactly as written and you should have no trouble. Other than that, just about everything in this block is covered in our basic techniques video, which I'll link up in the right-hand corner of your screen. It's mostly knits, purls, knit 2 togethers, and yarn over. But I will demonstrate 2 of the decreases. We've got the SKP and the S2KP. And now we did demonstrate the SKP in the basic techniques video as well, but since we're doing a 2-stitch version of this, it might be easier to have both of those in one video right here for you to reference. So let's take a look at how to do those. All right, so I've got my swatch here. And the first technique I'm going to demonstrate for you is the SKP, the slip knit pass. So what you're going to do is you're going to start by slipping 1 stitch purlwise to your right hand needle. Then you're going to knit the next stitch, and then you'll take the tip of your left hand needle and use it to lift the stitch you slipped and pass it over the stitch you knit. So you are just moving it out of the way and then passing it over to hang out on with that stitch you knit, and that decreases 1 stitch for you. So let's show that again. I'm gonna slip 1 stitch purlwise, knit 1 stitch, and then pass the slipped stitch over the knit stitch. So this is a decrease of just 1 stitch. Okay, now let's move on. Knit 2 stitches just to get away from those other decreases and show you the S2KP, the slip 2, knit, pass over. So for this one, you're going to slip 2 stitches, but you're going to enter into those stitches as if you were going to knit 2 together. So rather than slipping them purlwise, you want to slip them knitwise and together. So I've slipped those 2 stitches, then I'm going to knit the next stitch, and then I'll come back through with my left hand needle and grab both of those stitches that I previously slipped and pass them over the knit stitch together. So this creates a decrease of 2 stitches, and you can see they are hanging out with that stitch you just knit, and it's a pretty neat and tidy one. So let's show that one more time. We're gonna slip 2 stitches as if to knit together, then knit 1 stitch and pass the 2 slipped stitches over the knit stitch. Okay, so let's just take a look at that. You can see our decreases. We've got here and here are the S2 KPs that we did. Then if we scooch down a little bit, you can see here and here are the SKPs that we did. And that's pretty much everything you'll need to know. The rest of this block is very straightforward. You will transfer between your double points to a larger circular needle as your knitting gets a little bit bigger. And you will want to make sure that you place stitch markers between the 4 quadrants. Otherwise, this should be fairly straightforward for you. So go ahead and let us know in the comments. All right, so that's everything you need to know about block 25. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments below, and we'll see you in the next video where we show you how to seam all the blocks together. Thanks for watching.
Thank you so much for checking out this video. If you liked it, please give us a thumbs up and consider subscribing because we have a lot more yarn reviews, tutorials, and other fiber fun like that. Happy crafting!